and welcome back to Dragonborn Industries, where Richard is going to do the intro. Go!
No.
Awesome.
Hello, today we are Dragonborn Industries and we're Prince 3D. We are here for Painting Up Monster Manual, and we are episode 17. 17 weeks, 17 times of our life that we have been here painting stuff and dying horrifically or triumphing gloriously over the horrific monsters that we have so far sought. We try and spend this next hour trying to paint usually one mini. Usually. So today we have 3 because we're doing all the blights all at once. We attempt to get everything tabletop within 1 hour. Be it one of the WizKids minis that Dragonborn can sort for himself, if not something I can find in my vast library of 3D prints to do. So yeah, Ian, if you'd like to introduce yourself as to who you are and where you can be found.
I'm Ian, the Dragonborn Bard, and you can find me here, usually on this channel, Dragonborn Industries, which is twitch.tv/Dragonborn Industries, or I'm on twitch.tv/BanditBadgers, youtube.com/BanditBadgers, quite a lot as a guest player or a painter, along with Richard from Warrior Prince 3D here. I am a tabletop hobby enthusiast. I am the lead wizard and alchemist here at Dragonborn Industries for dice making, and we do a little bit of 3D printing, but not nearly as much as Richard, because I spend so much time either writing or doing dice that I just don't have the time to do it. And even now I'm going to Richard for prints because I'm so busy doing other things. I wanted to start this show to show people that you can do a tabletop mini in an hour and you don't need to be a pro painter. You don't need to go that extra mile. And the challenge is to try and paint one of everything from the monster manual. And that means that I'm trying to do it as cheap as possible as well, so I'm using the WizKids minis and trying to use paint bundles and stuff. But where I can't get a mini, like Richard says, I go to him. And this week is one of those. Although WizKids have vine blights, twig blights, and needle blights out, I couldn't get hold of them here in the UK. So we are printing up Richard these 3, which I'm going to bring up a picture of,
Yes,
and
please.
you can tell us where they're from. Ooh!
So these lovely things are from, I believe it is Claymore Miniatures. They are a new group on MMF that I have found and recently sort of subscribed to. They do a lot of basically D&D minis, tabletop, everything, as many monsters as they can do, heroes and all sorts, and they are incredible sculptors. They're very impressed with them so far.
And actually, on that, I just want to point out to you again, Richard, before my favourite mini was the flying carpet that we did several weeks ago. These are up there because I never thought I would find a female Ent rather sexy.
That's it.
But there it is, and
Did you have as much trouble gluing her as I did?
I cut her foot off, buddy.
You didn't?
I did. So her front foot, basically, I was trying to get them into the perfect position, and I found that, I took the scalpel out. I was I'm just going to take a little bit off here to get them perfect. Snap. And it was well...
I had to reprint her.
There you go. So, yeah, that was kind of fun. But I primed mine all in black. And yeah, these are lovely. But actually, let's talk about a couple of other... Hey! New following. Thank you so much, Bennett from Genshin. And hello to everybody in chat, by the way. I was going to interact with you, but then you've just poked your way into there. Hopefully we'll have some music playing in the background as well. If it's too loud, too quiet, let me know. We're on a quiet bit right now, but it's just building up. But we're actually going to talk about... a few more minis that Richard has asked me to point out, like it's his show. And I'm gonna bring some up on the stream, and then you're gonna chat about them, Richard. Are you ready?
Okay.
First big penis.
Hey. Okay, so Artisan Guild have recently done a couple of bundles for their Skutagard Northmen saga. There is 2 bundles, and they are by far my favourite lot so far. So I've been working my way through printing them. These bear changes have now inspired me for a druid-like character on D&D. So instead of a Path of the Moon druid transforming into an elemental, they're now transforming into a werebear. So yes, these are incredibly sexy minis. The first part is available on the Etsy store, and the second part is on its way up this week. We also have the bronze-clad Great Goblins.
I love these.
These comes with owlbears, and the Chimera comes as a mounted version and a beast on its own. These are beautiful. Literally, I'm going to be priming these up today and getting some photos online of these. These are all available as single minis and bundles. Anyone wants any bundles that are bought through the stream or through Instagram, I will be throwing in a 75mm of your choice of one of the minis that you get with it.
Oh, that's very cool. Let's bring up the next one.
So this is this month's release from Cast and Play. Very sort of Inquisitor,
I lost
evil
it. I
prince.
lost it. Keep talking. Keep talking.
That's it. It comes with all sorts of prop pieces, bases. Many the minis are beautiful. You've got mounted ones and the dragon as well, which I'll be building this afternoon. But yes,
I really like the church stuff. So like the gargoyles on the plinths, the altar, the organ. For me, that is.
They are awesome little props there. And again, I'll be getting photos of these up as soon as they're primed because I'm now enjoying zenithilling things to photo because it looks a lot better than just the print on its own.
Yeah, and there is two more that we're going to bring up. I'm going to do one first, and then I'm going to do the last one, which I've called Sexy. So, hold on to your trousers, people.
Okay, so Flesh of Gods is a new merchant license for me. This is part of the photos of this month's release. Again, I've printed the whole bundle and we'll be getting them up, but they are incredible minis. Very sort of nicely themed this month, obviously for Halloween and whatnot. But some beautiful sculpts, and also all of them are available in 75mm versions as well.
Nice. However, this is my all-time favorite of the ones you showed me today because Sexy Lolf.
Okay.
I am a simp for Lolf. I'm sorry, but I am. If I'm gonna die, you know
Die
what?
for Lolf.
Yeah, I would die for Lolf. But...
Okay, so this is Miniature of Madness's newest release. The thing I love about them, each month they do just the one mini, but it comes as a mini on its own or in a diorama, and they are awesome. They also come with a bust as well. I've got them here on the side here, all primed and zenithilled. But yes, these are the same people that made the book nooks, and these are available for sale as well, because they are another merchant license I possess, and they are awesome.
But that's enough plugging of your lovely. And I will say to anybody new coming into chat, because I know that a lot of chat know who you are and know how good your prints are. But again, I can't state enough. Like, I 3D print stuff, and I go to Richard for stuff that I want to be really, really awesome because the dude is just insanely good at it.
I will absorb them and try and take the compliments, so thank you very much.
You better take the compliment.
Instagram and Facebook, if anyone ever wants to message me, just even if you want to ask me, what can be done, or if you're after something in particular, I can literally 9 times out of 10 find something to cater for your needs.
And that link to Richard's Instagram is in the chat. It should come up on Nightbot every now and again. And you should see it. If not, when it comes up, I'll pin it to the top. Either way. We are going to talk about what we're doing today. 3 minis. This is going to be dry brushing to hell, I imagine, for both of us, and then a little bit of shading here and there.
Contrast and dry brush, let's win.
Yeah, so that's pretty much going to be it. I primed black, and I sort of know what I'm going to do. There's one that I'm going to focus on the most. I'm going to try and get the other two out of the way. However, we are on the Blights. So the Blights are an evil plant-like creature. They are monstrosities, and they've got a fair bit of lore. But I'm going to tell you now, Richard, I have never put Blights into a D&D campaign so far. So this is technically my first time running them. And one of the things we like to do here, if you're just tuning into the show, maybe on YouTube, maybe on Twitch, while we paint minis, we run a combat. We ad-lib it. So, Richard, have you rolled up a level 3 random character on D&D Beyond?
I have indeed. Bear with me. I have got Ellie today, and she is a Satyr Druid.
Oh, Satyr Druid. That's kind of nice. It fits in again. That's quite cool. You've been screwed over on the stats again?
I have indeed. So
nice.
I say screwed over. I have reasonable stats, but my wisdom is 9.
Nothing like a key stat being a dump one.
Yeah, it's a running thing at the moment with my key stat being a dump stat, but we shall see how we go.
But Blights themselves, the lore behind them, is quite interesting. So, an old story goes that there was a vampire called, and I'm going to have to literally read the book, Gulthias, who was chased down, and when a stake was driven through his heart, his magic and blood transferred power into that stake, which then became a seed that grew the Gulthias tree. The Gulthias tree is almost like a vampiric, evil entity that basically, from its roots and in its local soil, corrupts the lands. And anywhere that land may be darkened or corrupt, a Gulthias tree can grow. From the Gulthias tree, then, things like blights, so twig blights, vine blights, and needle blights can go out and then also corrupt. They are evil by nature, and things like the twig and the vine blights are ambushing style creatures. I mean, they're all ambushing style creatures, but there's less intelligence is what I'm trying to get to on the vine and the twig. They kind of wait for somebody to come by to extract their nutrients or their source of blood from them, and things like pools of blood, vine needle blights will like scatter around and like suck up the roots and get blood into there. It's amazing. I really liked reading the lore on them. They are controlled by evil and usually by their master, the Gulthias tree that's close by. But the vine blight themselves, the biggest of them, and they're only medium-sized creatures, can speak in sort of broken dialect of its master's tongue. So they can also be quite tricksy NPCs, I find, from reading that. But yeah, this is going to be interesting because I haven't put these into a combat before. I've not had the need to or been anywhere within campaigns. And I've run quite a bit by now, like over the years, and I just haven't had these in there. So I'm really looking forward to doing this and seeing if we can do them some justice. We have an hour on the clock, which I'm going to set up now to get these done. And let's put on a timer. There's the 1 hour timer. So you've got Ellie, the level 3 Satar Druid, yes?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so before we pick up paintbrushes, let's set a scene. The Feywild is one of the bordering planes of existence that borders the material plane, and it mirrors it almost, giving it the same sort of aesthetics and locations, but with that Fey style to it, as well as being its own land in its own right. And satyrs are known to frequent there or be from this realm of existence, but with light there must come dark, and also the Shadow Realm, the Shadow Fey, the Shadow Fell, whichever one you call it, is the negative version of the material plane. It again mirrors the material plane, and the Feywild and the Shadowfell can be in the exact same location as the material plane, and they can leach into each other almost. And on your journeys through the Feywild, into the material plane, and into the Shadowfell, and back again, swamps and plants can change from these darkened forests to beautiful fields of blue and pink and green, and then back again in an instant as the veil between worlds is thin. And you find yourself in a darkened swamp area. And something feels corrupted. Something feels wrong. Could you give me a history, an investigation, or a persuasion check? I'm happy with either of those. And we'll see how this is going to kick off.
History, investigation,
or perception.
Oh, perception's a no.
With that wisdom dump stat, that's why we're choosing something else.
Can it not be Arcana?
You can give me an Arcana check, sure. Why not? Because we're talking about planes of existence.
Okay, yeah, in the 19.
You know you've crossed the veil. You know you've ended up in an area that is corrupt, and you can feel it. But there is this tree that looms in the distance that almost calls to you. Hunger. And you watch as in the swamp and in the trees, you just feel and see like little bits of moving ground and vines, and you start to see like really fast vines starting to like swipe across the ground and up the trees, and then this like from water there comes like this lurching squelch as something stands up, and it's quite hulking. It's not massive, it's about the same size as you, but it's still quite an imposing figure. From the tree you watch like this conifer bush just drop and almost shake, and you watch as it takes on this like spiky small humanoid form, and then you watch as these vines that shoot across the ground start to like form up into a like humanoid shape as three beings on all sides of you, maybe about 20 foot away each one, a triangle around you, just to give you a sort of theatre of the mind ready for mechanics, rise up. and you just hear this call that almost, it's not even like you're hearing it, you feel it. Hunger. Roll initiative, please, bud, and I'll start the timer.
Okay. 8 initiative.
8. Okay, it's not bad because I've also pre-rolled, and it's not great. It's really not great. So let's talk about the stat block. You can pick up your paintbrushes and let's go. So to begin with, I'm going to just attempt to, on this twig blight, or needle blight even, sorry, there's like a swamp bit underneath it, and I'm going to try and paint the water in first so it's got time to dry. However, the stat blocks on these, the reason that I always have Richard roll, usually a level 3 character, is so that we can show off the stat block while we paint and while we do have a little bit of fun and while we do things. But these are really low CR creatures. These are like low dungeon fodder. They are small encounters that you would find on like random tables. So like the needle blight is a 1/4 challenge. The twig blight is a 1/8 challenge. And the vine blight is a 1/2 challenge. So realistically, for an average party of level 3, they should be fine. However, on D&D Beyond, this is classed as a deadly encounter. Now, I don't think it's going to be that deadly, because I think that it's all about the action economy. And although they have more actions than you, I think you've got more abilities and more meta knowledge to know how to deal with stuff as a player. But maybe for somebody new or a new DM, that might be quite daunting to see that deadly encounter. So, we'll quickly talk about the stat blocks. With the initiative roll, so we'll talk about the stats first. They've got a pretty good strength on the needle blights, but low on the twig blights. They're very brittle, and the vine blights have a strength of +2, while the needles have +1, minus on the twigs. The dexterity on them all is it's okay. Needle and twig have a +1. The vine blight has a -1. Constitution of +1 for the needle and the twig. Vine blight has a +2. Intelligence. These are monstrosities. They are all in the negative stat, all at a -3. Wisdoms. They are either negative or at 0. And charisma is a definitive -4. So these, act in almost a way that either they're controlled by the local archfey or by a local Gulthias tree. And we can see that it's going to be a case that you're just going to use them as maybe minions in a fight or a fodder for a fight, or just to use up those resources as players travel through areas and encounters. So, with the dex stats being so low, I actually rolled a 9, an 8, and a 4. However, the one that got the 9 was the Vine Blight, and it has that -1 dex, so it was actually a 10 -1. So it's going to be the Vine Blight first. As you watch, you hear the words hunger reach out, almost as if something else was calling that tree, and you feel like you know that's the cause of this evil, this corruption, this unrest. And the one from the swamp that's hulking begins to like lurch towards you. They have a movement of 10 feet.
Bloody hell, shit.
Yeah, they are slow for the vine blights. So although they can like spread out vines across entire villages really quickly, like if the blights are going to take an area, they are slow to actually get up and walk as humanoids. However, it moves 10 foot forwards, and then as an action, hunger. It just says this repeating word out loud and emanates from the beast. Can you make me, please, a strength saving throw, please?
Oh, I can.
And then I'll talk about what this ability is. For that,
I rolled 18 on my strength.
Perfect. So, in the meantime, I'm just using some Hydra Turquoise, and I'm painting the water base on to this particular swamped one, and I'm going to add some green in just to mix it up a little bit and to have it be kind of murky like a swamp. And then we'll do some green lily pads and that brown log that's underneath. You got a 19, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is called Entangling Plants. So this is an ability, an action that the Vine Blight has, and it has to spend its action to do it. And it is grasping roots and vines sprout in a 15-foot radius centered on the Blight, withering away after 1 minute. For the duration, that area is difficult terrain for non-plant creatures. In addition, each creature of the Blight's choice in that area when the plants appear must succeed on a DC 12, so it's a low DC, saving throw or become restrained. A creature can use its action to make a DC 12 strength saving check, freeing itself on another entangled creature within reach on a success. So you are not entangled, but you are now on difficult terrain. But that's all it can do at this point. And you watch as the others begin to move in. Specifically, the twig blight begins to like... It's a bit taller, this one, and it moves towards you, but it moves with like a dry... Like it's come down from the trees, and it's just... It looks brittle and like almost like campfire wood. It's going to move forward. It also is slow, but it has more speed than the Vine Blight. It's got a 20-foot speed, and it is a plant-based creature, so it can get up to you. It moves up, and it is going to, with its only attack, it's going to make a claw attack against you. So the claw attack has a +3 to hit, because its strength is not good. It's a 14, though, +3 for a 17.
That will hit me.
Okay. It doesn't do much damage as it claws across you with these branch-like claws, and it does 1d4.
Let me just see if I've got any reactions. No, that's it.
You're going to take 4 points of slashing damage as this twig-like hand rakes across your body. It doesn't make a noise, but like you can hear like the of snapping twigs as it does it. That is the end of that one's go. It cannot do Nout else. And Ellie, you are up.
Right, okay. Reeling from the horrific attack from the twig blight. You said I know this evil is coming from this tree.
Yeah, but the tree is way off in the distance.
How far is way off?
A mile or so. You can see it looming over the rest of the forest.
So it's not within 120 feet?
No.
Okie dokie. Right. In that case...
And in the meantime, I'm taking some military shader and some of that turquoise, and I'm just mixing them together to create this like murky blue base for that liquid area, this swamp area. And yeah, and then I'm going to take my brown and start dry brushing the rest of it. What are you up to, buddy? What are you up to, Ellie?
Right. I want to try and... Can I get more than one of them in a 5-foot radius? How close are the other two to me?
So the Vine Blight is 10 foot away from you. The Twig Blight is on you, so it's basically within 5 feet. And the Needle Blight is still 20 foot away.
Right, okay. So the one that is near me has not got to me yet, but will do on its next turn.
The Vine Blight.
I am going to call down my... Literally, and I sort of dodge back. I reach my hands out to the power of the land. My eyes glow. And a brief sort of glimpse of the moonlight as a moonbeam descends down from the sky.
Fuck yeah, I love this spell. I need to make a save, yes?
You need to make a save, yeah. So I will literally call it down straight on the middle of the other one.
Okay, cool. It's a 5-foot beam, is it?
It's a 5-foot radius, 40-foot cylinder.
Ooh,
as it goes up. I think... so when a creature enters specific first time it's engulfed and goes to pain. Constitution saving throw.
Cool. So, rolled a 7, and the con for the Vine Blight is a +2, 9. I'm going to assume that fails.
That is a fail.
Okay, roll some damage for me.
Let me double check. Yeah, 9. So.
And in the meantime, I am dry brushing Brown Bear. I'm going to try and use only Army Painter for this particular model.
That takes 16 damage.
16 damage. The moonlight separates the gloom and the darkness of the trees, and you watch as it's just like squealing as water and mud ooze out of its vines, and it just collapses in a slumpy, twiggy, viney mess on the floor. And it's dead. It had 12 hit points. Sorry, armor class is 12. My apologies, it's not dead. It stands back up like, hunger! It's got 26 hit points. I was looking at its armor class of 12.
That was a quick...
I was also looking at the ones above me, which have got like 4 hit points and 11 hit points.
Okay, so that is action. Bonus action.
I get things wrong, all right?
Oh, I can't do that if I've cast the spell. I can't do a flame blade at the same time.
Is it an ability or is it a spell?
Spell, and it's not a cantrip. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. I think I poise for the next attack. Actually, then.
Anything else from you?
No, I don't want to move out of the way of this thing, so I don't want to sort of put me back to it or anything like that. So no.
Okay, so the needle blight, this like small conifer-like shrub, you see it start to shake, and it doesn't move towards you, but it sort of almost jumps into the air and like spins almost, and you see this like viney branch kind of like point in your direction, and all these like tiny little needles start to. I'm going to make a ranged attack against you. So the needle blight has a claw attack and a range attack, and its range attack is a lot worse than its close. Oh, it's a nat 20! So, I gave Richard the option the other week of how we'd like to do crits, which was, do you want to double the dice, or do you want to max the dice and roll again? And I believe you chose max the dice and roll again.
That I did.
So, that's 2d6 plus 1. That's 13 damage. And now I'm going to roll another 2d6. And this is brutal because... Okay, I didn't roll too bad. So that's 12. Plus 6 is 18. Plus its modifier of 1. 19 points of needle damage as these... piercing damage as these needles... start to penetrate your armor, and you don't think they should be that hard, but they are, and they sting. And you just hear this shaking of this conifer bush, and then you just hear the vine blight, which looked like it was going to die. Good hunger. It's not going to move anywhere. It's going to stay 20 feet away from you because it doesn't need to get any closer. And that's sort of its whole thing, to shoot from a distance. Next round, the vine blight moves towards you. It doesn't need the difficult terrain to slow it down. It's a plant. It can move. It gets up close. I'm going to see if its ability recharges, because entangling plants is a recharge on a 5 or a 6. It's a 5. Now I have to choose between constrict or entangling plants, but he's right up on you, and he's going to try and constrict. So I need to make a melee weapon attack with a +4 to hit. It has a reach of 10 foot, so I actually don't even need to move up to you, but I will do. So let's go. Followed by a nat 1.
Say again?
Followed by a nat 1.
Fuck that.
It reaches out, but you manage to like duck out of the way as it strikes. And actually, you know what? Roll me a d20 and let me know if it's odds or evens. And we'll say if it's evens, it will constrict the vine blight. The twig blight.
I rolled a nat 1.
Nat 1. So it reaches out, but it just goes over the head of this twig blight. And that's going to be the end of its go. It's moved and it's made an attack. The twig blight, which is next to you, is going to... Same again, it is just going to try and claw at you because that's about all it can do. You see it just trying to like rake and bludgeon at you, trying to pull at bits of your armor to get them away. It's a 3 plus stat block. 3. It's a 6 to hit. I'm assuming that's going to be a no.
That is a big miss.
You're used to this. You've walked the fair, you've walked the veils of existence, and I need to remember to paint. We're getting into this one. Right? And you managed to like... I mean, what weapons have you got?
I don't actually have any. What am I?
How would you block this attack as you're dodging out of the way of this constrict?
I have a small shield.
Yeah, you just bring the shield up as you're dodging out of the way of this grasping vine and just smash back against the...
I have a shield and a scimitar.
Oh, awesome. So slicing that in a second. But yeah, that's the end of its go. Ellie, you're up.
Right, I move the moonbeam to the creatures in front of me then.
Okay, so there's one on either side of you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to apply flank rules to this because I forgot. I'll do that next turn if they're still there. So you can either put it on you, but that's still on you, or you can put it onto one of these.
It won't affect me, so if they're... I will move it to me then and encase them both.
Yeah, they're both trying to attack you, so we're sort of roughly in the same space, so I'll say we can do this. So I need to make con saves again, yes?
Yeah, on both.
Right, so let's see if it dies this time. Vine Blight. Oh, it's a 13 plus 2 for a 15.
Okay, so that saves.
Okay, and the Twig Blight is a 14 plus 1 for a 15.
They both save.
Do they take half damage?
They take half of max damage.
Okay.
20 damage.
20 damage down to 10. We did 19 last time, didn't we?
No, it was 16 last time.
16. Either way, that's perfect. With 10 damage, the moonbeam comes down, and maybe it was a glimpse of the future you saw as this Vine Blight just starts to slop apart. The Twig Blight just explodes as twigs begin to go everywhere, and 2 of them are down, and you just hear this, like, Needle Blight start to shake violently behind you. Do you do anything else with your go?
Yeah, I cast Cure Light Wounds with my action.
Nice!
I get 5 hit points back.
Nice. How are you looking?
Not great.
No, that 19... It was 19 I got you with, wasn't it? That was it. Was not great from the crit. But it is the Needle Blight's go. It sees the others go down, but this one doesn't think like the Vine Blight does. It doesn't have that same level of low intelligence. So it is going to move another 10 feet back away from you to be 30 foot away, and then it is going to try and shoot you again with its needles. As they all... You see it coming. It's an 11 plus the 3 for a 14. 14.
Misses.
You bring the shield up and you were ready for it. It can't do anything else.
I forgot to equip my equipment on D&D Beyond, so...
It's fine. We'll say it's equipped.
Yeah, so I now have an armor class of 15.
Awesome. And I'm still stippling on brown here to the Vine Blight, and then I'll move on to the others. What are you, before we take your turn, what are you doing with your paint jobs? How's it going? What are you...
I've basically, again, I'm trying to utilize as much contrast as I can, because I'm obviously trying to show off the speed painting of it all within the hour.
Yeah.
I've gone Skeleton Horde on the needle. Needle. I've used Plague Bearer Flesh and Creed Camo on the Vine, and straight up Wildwood on the other one, on Twig.
Lovely.
And I'm just using a bit of green contrast for the base, for the little bit of a sort of little bit of greenery we got at the bottom, and on the small tree on the trunk.
So Bennett from Jensen says maxing dice is rough, and yeah, I agree. So anytime Bennett and I play D&D and we start a new campaign, which is what technically this sort of is for me and Richard as we paint up the monster manual. Anytime the first crit is rolled, be that a player or myself as a GM/DM, I give the players the option. You can take it rules as written, or you can max dice and roll again. And 9 times out of 10, when we start a campaign and the players roll the crit first, they always choose max the dice, which is a lovely double-edged sword because it means that the crits that they roll are nasty. But it also means that the crits that the enemies roll are really, really bad. So I like that because it's risk versus reward. But I understand when some people, when a bad guy that's really bad rolls a crit first, they might want to be like, you know what? Let's do it rules as written. And I like to give them that option. So, Ellie, I have been doing the browns, and I'm literally just stippling on and dry brushing a load of really dark brown over a black primer, and then I'm going to go in with some color changes. And you've described yours, so now you can describe your turn 3.
Okay, for my turn 3, I will move my moonbeam again, this time onto the...
Lovely. How far?
Is it the Needle Blight that's left?
It is indeed. How far can you move the moonbeam?
60 feet.
I mean, I'll make the roll, but it's got 11 hit points and an AC of 12. Oh, it's an 18, though.
Saves.
18 plus 9.
And it only takes, well, I've rolled 5 damage halved.
Okay, so it takes 2 points of damage. Man, this needle blight's tough as balls. Okay, 2 points of damage. I might actually mark these ones off so I know what is happening now, since I thought it was going to last about a turn.
And then... Okay, I'm going to cast Flame Blade as my bonus action.
Lovely.
For my last 2nd level slot.
Okay, so are you moving anywhere?
And then I'm moving towards it.
Okay, so difficult terrain. Because
terrain, so I can only move, 20 feet. My walking speed is 35 feet.
Okay, yeah, so 20 feet forwards. You're 10 feet away from it. Bennett, absolute pleasure. So Bennett says, Ian, Richard, it's been an absolute blast. My work hours have arrived and I need to be on my way. They're looking really good so far, but I think I'll check the final results on YouTube. Cheers and have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Check us out on YouTube. Feel free to sub on there, because at 1,000 subs, I'll actually be giving away this one and only Diggy Hole Dice. But also me and Richard like to run giveaways as well. So keep checking us out on the socials. Thank you so much for coming in and giving us a follow. May the dice gods be ever in your favour. And Dragon School says Richard has 2 of them finished already. Wouldn't surprise me. Ha! Wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, how does it look when you classed Flame Blade?
So as I sort of move up to it, and basically I literally draw out almost like a vine and branch spreads out from my hand and basically encases in fire.
Oh, lovely. So, you step up, you're still 10 feet away, and this thing now, like, you don't see eyes, but it looks like it's looking around for help and support. One of the things that I like in the descriptions that I saw was, and I think it was in the Vine Blight, not necessarily the... Oh yeah, when a needle blight detects a threat, they loose a pollen that the wind carries to other needle blights throughout the forest. Alerted to their foe's location, needle blights converge from all sides to drench their roots in the blood. And you just watch as it starts to shake, and this pollen starts to like drift out into the forest like spores from a mushroom. It will then, as it's shaking, those needles once more fly off towards you. Come on, nat 20. No, it's an 8 plus 3 for an 11.
Misses.
It moves 30 foot into the forest. It is now 40 feet away from you.
I'll get a attack of opportunity against it.
No, because you were still 10 foot away because of the distance closing with the difficult terrain from before.
How far till I'm out of the difficult terrain?
10 feet. No, you're on the edge of it now, sorry.
Okay,
There's a 15-foot radius, so you'll be fine. From now on, you won't have any difficult terrain.
Okay. Is it my go?
It is indeed your go.
Okay. I will straight up move my moonbeam then.
Cool.
Let me just double check to see how long that lasts.
And while you do that, I'm taking some elven green, and I am going to stipple that into the undersides of like the Vine Blight's armpits, its groin, the back of its legs, some of its face, just to give it like a different shade, so that as we then move up through the rest of the browns, we've got that like lurking, grimy green.
Okay, that it lasts for a minute, so yeah, I'll move it up to the.
I'll make the save.
And yeah,
Natural 20. I'm fucking on it today, mate. Natural 20.
Will you fuck off?
I think it says Mr. fucking 3 natural 20s last week or some shit like that.
I don't. So that's 7 damage, half to 3.
3 more damage. This needle blight is pissing you off. It just seems to know the forest, and as the beam comes in, it like ducks behind a tree, and like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings, like manages to go underneath a branch, just catching the back end of its legs or something, what you imagine would be legs. And you hear like this like rustling again, but then it manages to come out the other side of a log and then begins to dodge out the way. But it's still the rest of your go, so you've moved the moonbeam to it.
Then I will move up to it.
Okay, cool. So what's your movement? Was you say 35?
35, yeah. So if we say 30 to move me out of the last bit of...
Well, no, you were just on the edge of it as in out of it, so we can say that you've got 35 movement. It is currently, it moved 30 feet away again, and it was 10 foot away before, so it'll be 40 feet away from you. Whoo! Breathing. You have 10 foot to close the distance left.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's all I can do, unfortunately.
Okay, roll me a d4, please.
This is how many blights are coming, isn't it? 1.
1, okay. You start to see off. Can you roll me a d10, please?
D10. 8.
8. About 20 feet away, you watch as like another one of these like needle blights just drops from a tree and starts to shake, and you watch that pollen come off again. There are now 2 of them. You are about 10 feet away from the first one. The other one is about 20 feet away. So, yeah. Okay. Anything else from yourself?
No, that's it.
Okay, so first needle blight, again, shaking the pollen, still shoots these needles at you, is going to be a... Oh, it's a 17 plus 3 for a dirty 20.
That is a hit.
Okay, 2d6 plus 1. 5 points of piercing damage.
I'm still standing.
Okay, the second one. Starts shaking the pollen off and then begins to run towards you. It closes the gap. It is within melee. It's going to make a claw attack against you with these like rakish needle-like fingers. Nat 1. And it just, in this moment, you like bring the shield up, you knock it back and maybe trip it over and it goes prone at your feet.
Okay. Can I move myself so that I can move my moonbeam to get them both?
They're at 10 foot apart. So this one's closed the gap on you and the other one is 10 foot away from you.
Okay. Right, he's prone. I'm going to strike him then with a flame blade.
Yeah?
Advantage.
Absolutely at advantage.
Flame blade. Okay, we got a 15 or 17 to hit.
Yeah, I mean, like, absolutely yes. It's got an armor class of 12. It's natural armor and it's made of a tree. So,
13 fire damage.
Boosh! As this thing just, and it's like watching a pine tree go up. Like it just ignites. It's crackling and like it squeals and pops. And you just look fucking at the other one. Are you going to move that moonbeam?
It takes an action to move moonbeam.
Does it?
Yes, that's why I've not been hitting with the sword on the other turns.
Oh.
Action to move it. I was able to cast the sword with bonus action because obviously I'm not casting moonbeam. I'm just moving it.
It's currently 10 foot away from you.
So I'm going to have to take another round of attacks.
Oh man, if this kills you,
I will be gutted.
If this kills you, I'm gonna fucking laugh hard. No, I won't. But this is what it's all about. Dice rolls. It all comes down to dice rolls. Oh, it's a 19 on the dice, plus 3 for a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
It's 8 points of piercing damage.
I am 1 hit point.
It's okay. So it's 10 foot away. It moves. It's 30 foot. It is 40 foot away from you. Pollen shrieking out. It's your go.
Right.
Roll me a D. Roll me a D.
Have to be a moonbeam then.
As this pollen's going out, though, can you roll me a D4, please?
D4 roll. Okay, that's a 3 this time.
Okay.
Shit.
Can you give me a D10, please? And what I'm doing with the D10 is I'm working out how many squares away, so how much distance away these things would drop out of trees.
9.
9. Okay, so that's going to be. It's about 50 foot away. You watch as like 3 more drop out of the trees. But you think if you can get this one, you can get away. You move the moonbeam.
Yeah, I move the moonbeam.
I need to make a con save, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 17 plus 3 for a dirty 20.
Will you fuck off?
I am rolling fucking gold today.
That's alright. So I've rolled a 14.
14 damage, yes, 7.
7 damage.
The conifer ignites in almost radiant flame as it had 6 hit points left. You have a choice. You can go take on these 3, or you can make me a stealth check and hide and see if you can let them pass, or you can try and run.
Right, they're how far away from me?
They're 50 foot away, and there's 3 of them. But they're not emanating pollen at this point.
Are they all close together?
They are within, 5 feet of each other.
Right, then I dump Moonbeam straight on their fucking face.
Is that a recasting of the spell?
No, it's still going. It's 1 minute it lasts, so I move Moonbeam 60 feet to them.
Oh, okay, so I thought you moved Moonbeam on its go to this Needle Blight, but that would be dead. Start of a new round. Yeah, fuck it, move it onto them. Con saves all round. First one.
I will, if you want, I will run as well, and then if they have their movement.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll make con saves all the way around. 13 on the first one.
Okay.
3 on the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, caught. 9 on the last one.
Okay, 2 fails.
What's your DC?
At 9. So 2 succeeds. Sorry.
2 succeed, yeah. Wow.
Okay, 17 damage to the one that failed, and 8 to the other 2.
They look really bad, but it's their go. So you've run away. They're going to spend...
I've got my full 35 feet away.
So that's what? Yeah, 50, 60, 70, 85 feet. They run 60 feet in their attempt to catch up to you, putting them, 15 feet behind you. But you can just move the sunbeam onto them, the moonbeam onto them again if you so wish.
I do so.
First one is a 17 plus 3 plus 1 for a 20. Sorry. Next one is a 19 plus 1 for a 20.
All right, feckers. Ooh, 16, so 8 damage.
Yeah, they're gone. They're out of here. They're dead. You tell us how you destroy these. How that moonbeam looks in this final moment as they're running towards you.
As I'm running away, I do that sort of one-handed, 1 foot sort of skid to lean back on my hoofs with the way my feet are. I look back and my eyes just glow for that minute as I literally reach out my hand and pull the moonbeam towards them. And it's almost like the old films when the ion cannon's going along the surface.
I love it.
Consumes them from behind.
Yeah, and they're gone. They're dead. It's over. I thought the dice rolls were going to fuck you there.
Oh, I was not planning on living in that fight, I have to say. I did not think I was going to get out of there.
Well, I understand maybe why D&D Beyond said they were going to be deadly.
Well, you see, the thing I love about that is any fight can be deadly depending on the thoughts, the area, and the strategy.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that you nailed it once again. I'm glad that Ellie survived this one.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I do like a druid. They're cool. And for painting, how are you getting on?
I am. How long have we got left?
27 minutes.
Fucking hell. So I'm nearly done.
Nice.
I'm hoping just basically contrasts will dry. I've got a really nice effect on the needle one, on the lily pads and stuff like that.
I'm waiting for that to dry.
I'm seeing how that dries. So hopefully that'll be all right.
Nice. I am just literally focusing on the combat and now thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just putting in the second layer of brown over the greens, and then I'll show those off in a second, ready to then brighten up some of the bases and, yeah, get some different shades in to hopefully give them some depth. But yeah, so, like I said, I've never put Blights into a campaign yet because I just haven't had the need to, or I haven't had, like, the areas where they've gone to, where they would be, and, yeah, so that for me was very fun.
I'm kicking myself a bit because I've had some prime areas. These would have been great. And would have been really good sort of to see multiples of these descend on a party.
Yeah, I will point out as well, by the way, so that pollen thing is not actually on their stat block, but it is in the lore. If you read about needle blights on the page 31 instead of page 32, yeah, it literally says it basically gives off pollen, and like all the other ones come in to basically suck up blood through their roots because they're evil, they're from a vampire. And I just like the idea of giving it that extra, like, you know, you'd smash the other two, and I was like, yeah, all right, cool, let's do something dangerous. And then I was like, oh fuck, you might die. So
I definitely will be having a thought on how to put these in, and I might even make them a little bit tougher than they are.
Oh wow, okay.
and you know up their stat block. Because one of the thing I love doing is when people. When you get higher level characters and they see a creature and they think and they use their little bit of meta knowledge to think, oh, this is fine. It's this is just a couple of these little things, but I'll add little tweaks or mutations or basically just make them a higher level creature, because why can't a creature level up just like a player can?
Oh, exactly that. And Dib says, I thought you were going to say, or you can make me a sandwich. When I was like, you can make me one or the other.
I wouldn't mind a sandwich, actually.
Yeah, no, I'm quite hungry now. I always end up talking about food on this show. Not on this show, on all of my shows. And it was funny the other day because we had a new follower called The Mind's Eye who came in on one of the Dice Masters streams. And, oh, God, they do, like, Twitch cooking shows. And they were showing, like, I'm a vegetarian. And even I was looking at the meat like, that's coming off the bone and that looks pretty succulent. And, yeah, we got talking about pizza and stuff. And, like, oh... God, I was so hungry, but
I've got to wait till tomorrow to have pizza for Pizza Friday.
I do like a Pizza Friday. I'm trying to be a good boy this month and not spend too much money because adults.
We just go down the old Sainsbury's and find out what's on offer, or go down Tesco's, and basically buy an extra bag of mozzarella cheese.
It's exactly what I do. You've got to put the extra mozz on there. And, like, sometimes I like the grated one because it gives you that crisp layer like a skin. Other times, I do like to get proper mozz, ball it up and stuff, or, like, take it out in chunks, put it on, and then put a basil leaf on there. Oh, nom 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 nom.
Nom noms.
Nom noms indeed. So, I'm going to take some of that darker brown and go back over some of these areas here with this green. What I'm hoping for here is to get a blend between greens and browns. And then I'm going to use a highlight of Desert Yellow from the Army Painter on some of the really high points, just to kind of finish off any of those areas. Right, but now I need to go in and do...
I am going to use my dry brushing palette.
Which you can get from Instagram at WarriorPrince3D. If you contact Richard on there, there's also a link here in chat, which we can see. Oh, look, I can see it, so I'm going to pin it.
Really?
Pin it right there. You can get them right there. Or use anything else. Richard, you have the post yet today?
Yes, you bugger. I got it just before the screen.
So
I wondered for a second why the post lady was looking at me. She was looking at me so weird and laughing at me. I was like, what? Okay. Got up to the top of the stairs and all you heard was, bastard.
Dibs will know this one. So I sent Richard out a set of dice as a thank you for doing the show with me and for doing giveaways, also sending me out loads of minis all the time for this show. And we did him a set of Beholder dice, and I put his address down. I won't give you his actual address, but the name was Dick Denyer, Private Dick.
So yes, it's an interesting experience with the postal service then.
Everybody who's called Richard loves to be called Dick.
I don't mind being called Dick so long as it's not used in the sort of the offensive frame.
All right, you dick.
Well, that's it. Because often people in my life have called me it trying to be clever and be snarky.
Yeah, exactly.
One person who basically used to call at me, and she used to call at me because it was just my name, and her old man only knew me as Dick, so they're the only two people to ever get away with it.
Yeah, fair enough. And Richard lives really far away from me, so... Dib said it's better than what he said to you the other day, so...
Depends what day it is. Most days it's something interesting.
How's everybody in chat doing anyway? That one was over nice and quick, so we can focus on doing the last of the painting. And yeah, it's been... have you guys used Blights in your sessions? Have you used any of the lore behind them for Gulthias? Did you know any of the lore? Does that come from a book?
I was going to say, I didn't know the lore. That was quite...
It's very cool.
Yeah. And again, really, if I'd known the lore, really fitting in a couple of bits and pieces in my campaign.
Yeah. Like, my players have been to places that they could be, but they didn't have, like, this dark overbearing presence of, like, this vampire who'd been, like, staked and then it turned into, like, a seed. I love that idea. That's so cool.
I have in Vampire Forest, a place where it could have been so picture perfect. it would have been all amazing. But luckily, they've only been to the outskirts of it. So if I ever get back to that campaign, it'll be fine.
And this is probably why people should read the monster manual, but not just the stat block, the lore behind the creatures as well, because it's really important. It can
add so much more to the experience, as it were, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What I really, really, really like is that you can read those bits, and you realise that you don't just have a monster. You can have an NPC. So things like, we're doing the bugbears next week, and we're going to try and do 2 minis again in 1 fucking hour, aren't we?
Oh, fuck, are we?
What we either did.
Bugbear and Bugbear Chief, wasn't it?
Yeah. So like, but they can speak. They speak Goblinoid and stuff like that, and they speak Common. So like, they're we see them in Jorhas in Crit Roll as like workers and stuff, and they are they're not intelligent, but they are sentient beings. Whereas like the Needle and the Twig Blights, they can speak Common, but they can't. Well, they understand Common, but they can't speak it. But the Vine Blight has like this broken intelligence and broken community where they can be like, you could use that as like all right, you killed my friends, I'll take you to the master, or you could be like, make them a friend, and that's going to betray them. So it's it's very, very interesting, and Lord of Cats, what's up, my dudes? Hope you're well. Richard smashed the combat, destroyed so many of the Blights, and we are now just kind of into crazy painting time, where we've got 20 minutes left, or just shy of, and I'm just trying to put some more of this military shade of wash. It's like a green and a brown over some blues and greens to kind of give it a swamp-like effect underneath there. And what I'm hoping to do, if that dries in time, is to maybe use some resin over the top of it, but I don't think that's going to dry in time. So I'm going to take some desert yellow from the army painter, and I'm going to now maybe pick out some highlights, some top vines. Dragon School Studios, one of you should do the bugbear and the other should do the chief. Yeah, see, I think that was the original plan, but I think the way I see it is, for me personally, on painting up the monster manual means that we have to paint one of everything each. And I'm okay if Richard cheats on that. And it is cheating. But I will feel bad if I don't do it. And I know that, like,
The glorious ADHD brain will not let me.
Yeah, it's like, you got the accolade, but did you? Because you didn't do the chief, or you didn't do the one. And wish you an awesome stream, dudes. At work, bit busy. Don't want to drop my phone in the fryer. Wait, someone get me a Burger King. Wait, I want food. I like food. We're back on food.
You need food.
Food? Yeah, and so take it easy, Lord of Cats. Please don't drop your phone in the dryer. The talk of food instantly made me forget what I was on about. No, the bugbears, and I think that's why we're also doing like the 3 blights in one, because it's like we figured these would be nice and easy and quick. I mean, I could say that these are tabletop ready for me now.
To be honest, all I need to do at the moment is black the bases, and I could say the same.
Same. And I don't even need to black the bases to be.
No, Ian, we need to black the bases. It's the rules.
It's the rules. I agree, Richard.
It's that thing of saying, right, it's done, it's ready to go on the table. It's got a black base, it's fine.
The Blights were sticks. They really were. Kidaro says, Nat 20! Using the Dragonborn Industries emotes. God, I can't wait to unlock some more of those. But that was really fun. Thank you so much, because like I said, I've never even thrown them on a table. So, and that's the other thing about this show. We get to play around with things we've not done before. I
tell you what, it really adds up to some of my sort of monster game in thought on that.
Oh, really?
I did a battle the other day, and I threw in a Bahir.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
But I set it up so that it looked like there was a sleeping dragon in the middle of it was on a frosty mountain.
Nice.
So put a dragon straight in the middle of like this little dip, as though it was sleeping. In the centre of this area, there's a cave near it, so that was its cave. I drew in the players, and basically the Bahir had led them into a trap. It had killed the dragon and seen other things around.
Oh.
It set things up, and basically the Bahir was up on the side of the cliff.
And that's what they do. They are ambush creatures.
Yeah. And knowing that it was an ambush creature, so set up the ambush and lightning breathed everyone on the ridge.
What level were they?
They're 13.
Oh, okay, so they're all right.
I nearly killed the mage in one.
Jesus Christ! But I mean, mages are glass cannons, really.
And basically, then, because obviously they were all on the ledge watching their one person who's obsessed with dragons go and have a look, I then dropped the Bahir in the very centre of the party.
Oof! Lovely.
So yeah, that went well.
Dick Denyer, Dix's players.
So yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, I saw the picture actually. You posted on your stories with it, and
yeah. I thought I'd tag you just to sort of.
It was pretty cool.
It was nice to be able to use the stuff we're painting up in combat and stuff. So.
And that's the other thing. So if you guys are watching either on Twitch and you go and you paint up one of these ones as well, or if you're watching on YouTube and maybe you're painting, maybe you found this video because you're looking at maybe how to paint one of these up for a combat, then yeah, hopefully it's a case that you learn something about yourself, your friends, and about the monsters in the lore and in what they can do, and you can use something to your advantage or to help the players or your companions and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of what it's all about, really. So I'm going to black the bases now.
How are we doing for time?
We've only got 13 minutes.
I really want to paint this little Robin. Well, I'm going to try and do it as a Robin on the twig one.
Dib says, and how mental and hungry we are. Yeah.
I'm really starting to get hungry actually now that it's been mentioned.
Oh shit! I didn't see the bird.
Yeah, it's I've literally just seen it.
There is a bird on top of that twig. I'm going to ignore it.
Just paint it brown and dry brush it. It'll look fine.
It's what I've done. It's just a twig shaped. Wait, a twig shaped like a bird. Pressure's on now, actually, because 3 minis in an hour, very doable. However, now that we've found the extra little bits, and the ADHD brains kick in, and the hunger of the shaky hands.
Yeah, that's kicking me at the moment, trying to do this bloody base.
And yeah, but I can't say enough about these prints, man. These are really, really cool, and the sculpts are beautiful, and the actual print themselves, minus me cutting off one of their feet.
That's all right. As I said, I snapped. So when I took ours off, I snapped the leg off of one. I thought, bollocks, that's mine. Tried to glue it back. To glue it back on, and it just would not go back on. So I was like, right, bollocks to it. I'm printing another one.
So I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna take some tanned flesh from the army painter. And I'm gonna try and mix in a little bit of brown and a little bit of desert yellow, just to see if I can make a really orangey sort of tan.
What for?
As a final sort of highlight.
Ooh.
I kind of want to get that XV88 look from Citadel, but I also would really quite like not to use any Citadel paints. I'm trying to use only the army painter today. Please, for the love of God, army painter, sponsor us.
Well, yeah, as I say, because army painter, I've got the full speed paint set, and I intend to do that on the next big one and just use speed paints.
Oh, what is the next big one?
That's what I was going to ask you.
So I know that next week is the Bugbears, which I am going to be using a lot of XV88 as the base.
Do I need to send you a bugbear, or are you?
I have WizKids ones available to me, so I'm going to be painting up a WizKids ones from my FLGS Happy Piranha Introro. And I don't know what you're going to be printing and painting yet.
I'm going to have I've got quite a few bugbears actually, so I'm going to have a look for some nice ones. I will see if Artisan Guild happen to have some, because try and get their attention a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing at this point is I'm trying to paint the wood on the actual trees ever so slightly different with a different highlight, so that we get that depth and definition from the minis. So that way it's not just like blending in, even though it would be camouflage. And they do have an ability where they are indistinguishable from the local fauna. But as a mini on the tabletop, we do want to give it some kind of...
I washed it. I've washed it and highlighted and dry brushed slightly different colours into the tree and the twig blight.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm trying to give it like a little bit of a tan on the highlight for the trees so that like, yeah, they just look ever so slightly different. And I'm trying to give some bits that green fade, like the bottom of moss or where growth would happen. And I've got green fade going up the legs of the...
I need a green and a yellow now.
twig.
Tell you what, problem with having too many bloody paints.
Can't find what you're looking for?
Yeah, or can't decide what I bloody want.
Yeah.
Or drop a load on the floor.
I almost want to do an OSL on the eyes. 9 minutes, 20 left.
Do they even have eyes?
Oh, Herbalist says, me too, you guys are making me hungry. Dragonsoul getting pulled away. Great stream. I'll catch you with you guys later. No worries, Dragonsoul. Have yourselves a great day. They sort of do in the picture. They like take on humanoids, but I'm like, that Ent kind of look of like, I think it's Warhammer, like Age of Sigmar, where they have like that glow on the inside. I'm like, I kind of want to do that. And you know what? I'm going to fucking do something crazy. Let's go Feywild. I'm going to put a fucking pink grass tuft on this motherfucker.
Oh, you are gonna be fancy, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I don't think I'll get enough time to do the resin work on the needle blight because it's still a bit wet. So I'm going to take some pink. I'm going to put that in down here at the base of that tree. Ooh! Give it a little pop, a little colour pop! Like so. I might add another one in behind the tree. Just to give it that Feywild essence, that otherworldliness. I'll ask you something, Rich. Can you hear the music today?
I can very much hear the music today.
Oh, okay, cool. It's playing quite loud in this room. How's everybody at home with the music? Is it a decent level? Is it too loud? Have you heard us this entire time? I imagine so because you responded, or you know us so well that we're talking about food. So I need a bright green. I'm going to take snake scales. It's perfect. Dibs. Herbalist says it's perfect. Dibs says it's shit. Lady Jade Lynn says the music is good level. Fucking Dibs, I love you so much. Right. Thought I'd be past this point. Oh, we got 7 minutes. 7 minutes!
Trying to get like a yellowy green to go over the top of the vine and like some of the higher areas and the more, say fauna, but
It is flora. Fauna is animal.
What sort of eyes do they got? Have they got a glow to them at all? Or
Not on the picture in the monster manual. So if you can see the one that's there, they are just sunken in like recesses.
Yeah.
Music is and ask the Miss Lounge. I'm very picky with background sound. Lol. If it's too much, I get upset. So actually, Lady Jane Lynn, Fluffy, who is actually in lurk mode right now, is actually my techno wizard and sound engineer, and it's amazing because I have a background in audio, yet she has a better ear than me, and is like that frequency there, this frequency there, that's too loud, that's too sharp, and it's amazing because I'll turn something on and she goes, nope. I'm like, awesome. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm going to leave the vine blight. It's done. The twig blight.
I'm not going to do eyes.
No, neither am I. I may put on a little bit of shader. With the last 5 minutes 56. Do you think you'll be tabletop ready?
I am tabletop ready.
I also am tabletop ready. I'm just trying to do the little extras.
And I'm also trying to fix the black base bit that I just buggered up with putting my thumb on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to just like add like maybe like a little bit of like shading to the eyes. And I'm doing this age-old tested, put a dab on, wipe it away with your thumb.
Wee. Right, okay, so if that's the case for that one, I use a dark. Do I use. I should stop overloading my bloody workspace with paint pots.
No. At least yours is dedicated. I have to move everything every time I change the show. But I love it! Everybody look at me.
A little bit in there. I'll be careful how I pick this bugger up.
Okay, she's done. Right, last one. He's blowing. The mist. I wish we had a producer. Laugh my ass off. The dream, I suppose. Yeah, me too. We need like I don't know, Twitch to pay us crazy money for being on here.
That'd be nice. Time check, Vicar.
You've got 4 minutes 22. 21.
Right, I've got 4 minutes to paint a bird.
I've got 4 minutes to try and dry the paint and the wash on this base, tidy up the leaves, and then add a little bit of resin.
I'm not gonna be able to touch some of these. I'm gonna have to leave them literally to dry, I think, and I'll have to put photos up after the stream. Because 2 of them are very wet. Right, okay, let's get this bird.
Look at me on Twitch blowing.
I'll say, if not, if we just mute for a minute at the end, I'll get the airbrush. Actually, no, I can't. It's over by the window because I've been bloody priming.
No! One bit was too wet and it's gone up the log.
No!
It's okay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try and go in there with a brush and just soak up some of that moisture. This is it now. So at this point, I think we've gone past the point of trying to teach anybody how to paint, which, like, oh God, get it done and be better.
I tell you what, one of the biggest things you can teach about painting is find your way.
Yeah. So I agree, and like, I do speed paint a lot of my minis these days because sometimes I really enjoy painting a mini, and sometimes I'm burnt out and I don't want to, and I also have the problem with I refuse to put down unpainted minis on a table. So when those two problems meet, you do have to find your way. And yeah, for me, that is like, if I've got a set mini, an NPC, a character, or like a proper bad guy, I will spend ages painting that mini and try and do it as best I can. But everything else, I will try and do it as quick as possible and just to table ready, because I don't need to like go out there and be the best painter. So yeah, I agree. Find your way, find your techniques. Yeah, I rarely use washes these days. I try and just layer up in a triode of colours. Triode, is that what army paints call it?
Yeah, something like that. But don't be afraid to use washes to your advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And they cover up so much as well. Like, it can really hide a lot of mistakes if you're worried about it, or it can, like, you know, if you've got a shaky hand. I've got a shaky hand. I used to use it to hide up that particular thing. And if used correctly, they're amazing. I just don't use them because I prefer doing it in a more cartoon style. We got 2 minutes, and I'm still waiting for that bit to dry. I'm going to do a light shake, I think. I'm not going to get the airbrush out.
I can't. As I said, it's literally over by the window. I can't even.
Okay, what I will. So I've got my hot water. I need to heat up some of the resin. So what I'm going to use is some hot water here. I've got a bottle of UV resin that I actually use to fix any blowouts or holes in dice. I'm heating that up so it's runnier, it runs smoother, and I've also got a UV torch just there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit on there, and I'm going to apply it in the next minute. Oh God!
You just can't do it, Captain.
I just can't do it. I haven't got the time.
Haven't you got the time and the power?
I've got the power. I just didn't have the time, Captain.
Oh fuck!
Divs, send them all to me and I will paint them for you, pasty. No worries, Divs. Herbalist, I've never used resin. Is it difficult to work with? Epoxy resin is a lot harder because it is, obviously it takes a long time to set, but this stuff actually takes about 2 to 5 minutes to fully set, but in about 10 seconds you can have it in one place. So I will show you what I'm doing. I will take this, it's warmed up a little bit, but not enough because I haven't had the time. And I'm gonna put a big old, as my new favorite word is dollop and blob. And I'm just going to push that into everywhere there's water. And this is going to create a nice reflective surface, and then I'm going to seal it with the UV torch. Oh, 26 seconds.
Brushes down. I'm done.
He brushes down and done. He's done!
I'm actually quite chuffed with how these have turned out as well.
Me too, to be honest. Get out of there, I'm running out of it! I have to get more UV resin. That's it. Brushes down. Ah! On the dot! On the fucking dot! Dick Denyer, Private Dick. Are you fully done?
I am fully done. Black base, finished and everything.
I too am fully done. Black base. And I got the resin done. I'd like to get a little bit more resin on there, but I'm happy with where it is. It looks wet. Would you like to show off yours first? I will try and bring you forward so we can bring you to a full screen.
I will try. I hate trying to do this.
Oh, no, that's turning you off.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Bring it up here. Oh, where did you go? Sorry. There we go. Right. Whoop.
Right, okay, so...
Oh, I love that kind of like tanned colour though.
God's sake, do you know what? Trying to orient yourself is awful in these bloody
There you
things.
go. Now pull back slightly. No, the mini. There. See, I like that. I like that it looks like the rib cage is like opening up. That's very, very cool. What about the other two?
Alright, 2 secs.
1, 2. Oh, it's 2 seconds. And now pull the mini back. Oh, see, I really like that green, actually. I like that that's mostly green. And I really like your wood tones there. That's, see, I think that's a piece of terrain right there. Like, you've done, that's awesome, awesome woodwork. One more. Herbalist said the timing. Dib said wicked. And we have the twig. If you pull her back slightly. There. See, and again, I like that kind of like rich wood colour. That's very, very awesome. I will turn my torch off. So, let's bring you back to where you were. There you are. Right, so the music has stopped, which is fine because we're at the end. I will see if I can bring up my camera. Me.
I need to get a second camera, I really do.
So, my first one, I'll go with the vine, and I want for like a very, very basic, just blending them all in, trying to make it a camouflage thing. So let's see if I can get that to focus. Whoop, whoop, there we go. And we've applied, yeah, we've done like loads of greens on the underside, and then tried to blend those in and make them smooth, especially with the moss on the actual tree, and then hit different areas with different darker tones and different lighter tones. So that's the blind one. Then we've got the, I'm going to go for the twig next, where we decided to put
You've got a bit of purple in there.
Yeah, tiny bit, but it's mostly greens and browns. We've got the pink on the little grass tufts, and then a hidden bird, which I didn't do, but I've tried to get a little bit of light on the underside of it and on that wing. And then I wanted her to be, I wonder if I can get the face there. Just slightly darker, because at least she's got this ominous presence. And then I want to do more with the lily pads before I finish them, but we've got that resin on there, which gives it that water effect.
I do like that. I need to get some of that water resin stuff.
Yeah, it's just UV resin. It's on Amazon or in many of the craft stores, and I use it for dice making. But I really like this sculpt as well, and I tried to give it like really viney legs and then like a darker top and back.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what we went with those. I'll get some pictures of those and put them up on my Instagram in a bit. And that's that. We've done the Blights. It's over. We are done for the week. Episode 17 is out the way. And next week, so we need to confirm now, are we attempting...
We'll do both bugbears next week.
We are doing 2 minis next week. Bugbears. The Bugbear and the Bugbear Chief, which is quite good because it's basically the same mini, just with 2 different poses. I know the WizKids ones are pretty simple. And like, looking at the picture... It looks like a lot of tan browns and flesh colours and then black and grey. So I think we'll be okay.
it will be just be sticking to those two sort of color types, and I think we might be all right.
Yeah, and I think it could be. I think again, looking at contrast paints and speed paints for those, and maybe a couple of metallics. But I guess we'll see. Guys in chat, thank you so much for coming along. It was really fun to interact with you all today. Just really high energy on this one, and it was awesome. Herbalist on Nevy's Resident, of course. No, it's really easy. Message me and we'll talk about it. It's actually really simple. We've done those ones. They're both looking epic. Thank you. Lady Jane Lynn, great show. Thanks. The mess sounds well done, gents. Thank you very much. And Herbalist, fun show, guys. Looking forward to next week. Yeah, me too. Bugbears is going to be great. Guess what, Richard? We're on Goblins.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
So we're also switching who's the player and who's the DM. As since the Goblinoids are beginning, you get a week to think about what you want to do for them. I'm not going to create a character until the day, as I do that to you. And then we'll go back to me. And then next time we hit some goblins, guess what? You're doing those too. So I think that's what we discussed before. So next week, Richard Denyer will be your DM for painting up the monster manual.
You want me for the bugbears as well?
They're goblinoids, mate. They are goblin kind. We did say that the goblins are all yours.
Okay, that'd be good fun then.
So until then, guys, thank you so much. We'll stick those up on Instagram, and may the dice gods be ever in your favor. Take it easy now. See you around.